Before I didn't even know what an IEP was. Well, previous years I did not care. I didn't listen. I was just like, all these people are talking bad about me. Well, I have a learning disability, and I've always wondered, well, how come I don't learn like other students do? And that bugged me for a long time, but learning that about my learning disability helped me understand that it just takes a little bit more time. Really helped me study through the IEP, but I also was able to lead my own IEP meeting and tell them what I need to have done and what helps me better. There was some good points thrown out that, maybe we can shift doing homework a different way to help get me prepared. That way I can have that done and graduate on time. My secondary goals are to graduate high school and get a job. My post-secondary goals are, in my future, is to become a traveling nurse, but I plan on working my way up from a CNA to QMA to LPN to RN. But to know that I'm succeeding makes me feel like a really good person, and that I can succeed in life and I can be whatever I want to if I put my mind to it.
Hi, I'd like to introduce Katie Collin, a 2018 graduate of Harrisburg High School. While in high school, Katie participated in the Stingers, a work-based learning program offered through her transition class. And also, while Katie was in high school, she presented during a Circles meeting, which is communicating interagency relationships and collaborative linkages for exceptional students. And while she was in that meeting, she learned about different opportunities available to her for after high school.
I clean dishes, I clean the bathroom, and I clean the tables, and I help the students. Project Search program.
Where was Project Search?
St. Bernard's.
St. Bernard's Hospital. So can you tell me a little bit about what you did at Project Search?
We did about after listening, like what we say, and like words on your mouth.
Okay, like how you speak and how you interact with other people.
Yeah, contact. Laundry. I did towels, gowns, sheets, blankets, washcloth. I load the dryer and load in the dryer, and I deliver them. So,
tell me, how many hours a week do you work?
4 hours a week. I got pulley up the mat, and I got Bravos. So,
Bravos. Can you tell me what Bravos are?
Like this.
Okay, so a Bravo is that when somebody sees you do something good and they tell your boss that they just send a note or say, hey, I saw Katie, she's so helpful, and that kind of thing. Is that what Bravos are? That's awesome, Katie.
I want to buy a car, get my own vehicle, and to drive to work.
So you now drive to work. You have purchased your own vehicle.
Moving out to Jonesboro, get my own place.
The SOS program is a program to help young students that's in the inner city, especially a lot of African Americans, how to get jobs and how to use their social skills to help connect to the dream and to accomplish the dream. So it's very, very important. Like this is like an essential this is an essential thing that young people need. Ever wondering, will I get the job, or will I get hired? Because I had good skills. I knew how to prepare myself. I knew how to prep myself for employers. As far as how to have my resume right, how to dress, how to speak, how to conduct yourself, when you're going to go out and meet employers. The SOS taught me that, and I was able through the SOS to kind of gain those social skills and become comfortable with those social skills. So when I went out and I started to go on these job interviews, I was comfortable because I had done it a gazillion times, rehearsing with a lot of my teachers. So, I was ready. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about. And it's hard getting jobs nowadays. So to know how to use all your advantages and all your resources to attain one is very important. And that's what the SOS program is about.
So I took a class called Resource, and a lot of students in special ed were in that class, and we investigated into more about what it was like to be a person with disability and what we needed to do in life because of that. I also was able to take journalism, and sometimes, well, actually in my experience, the school wanted me to take choir, and I don't like to sing. So I was able to choose my elective because of advocating for myself and saying, hey, I don't want to sing. I don't want to be in choir. And I was able to take that journalism class and find out that I enjoyed those things. And I found friends and found out who I was beyond my disability. I'm currently working as a paraprofessional with students with autism, and I love it. I do think that working with the I'm Determined program and working with students there helped me become a better teacher, I guess, and realize that I enjoyed working with students with autism, and but I originally went off to college thinking that I was going to do, I thought I was going to work in a hospital because I grew up going to the hospital all the time. And turns out I'm really scared of hospitals. So that would have been a really bad situation. So I took a couple years off and now working to save up money, and found out what I really want to do in life. And I think I would be happy in this career more than working in a hospital.
My name is Royal. I'm 17 years old. I like to eat, play basketball, video games, and go outside and ride my bike. But does not make you less of a teenager for having a disability. It is more stressful when people treat you like a baby, because I feel like you can do things on your own and be yourself and not have everybody watching you and helping you and telling you what to do all the time. What I learned last year is time management is important. People give you more respect if you're there on time. I set reminders on my Alexa, so then my family doesn't need to set reminders for me. Getting communication from your teachers is key. So I call my teachers on Zoom all the time. Being independent and being responsible is the number one thing. I want to be more independent this grade. I want to be treated like an adult. Back off and let me do it on my own. I can do it on my own. Other people can do it on their own.
Find something that was on campus. So I can always make suggestions of why support would have been great for me. I would have felt empowered. I would have felt like I can be independent. I think it's important because if a young adult succeeds, then it sets a path for other young adults and teens to be able to look up to. And even if, everyone makes mistakes and fails, but that also is a lesson in itself to show that, you don't have to have this all figured out. Nobody does. And I think if I had more support that I needed, then I would have felt confident about getting into adult life and trying to practice adult skills.
Being travel trained is that I'm more independent and responsible, and I can go everywhere by myself without asking for help from anybody. I go to like school, work, store, anywhere that I need to go, like we'll hang out with my friends or anything. I catch the bus and I like do everything by myself without any help.
Support and planning of your IEP meetings is great because when you're at like your last IEP meeting when you're a senior in high school, like unless you go onto some transition program like I did, that's like one of your last meetings that are structured and support. And even though I did go on to a transition program and that like really prepared me for college, I really do think that having that support is that you have in high school is vastly different than the accommodations you have in college. And I don't think a lot of parents and students really understand that unless someone tells you that that happens. Like, I really think that special ed professionals should really explain that to students, because from my experience of being at an IEP meeting, they don't really explain it to you. Like, when I had the school of going to college, the people that were on my IEP team, with the exception of my parents, they didn't really know what to do because they weren't really used to dealing with people that wanted to go to college. So
I had an IEP. The IEP helped me be successful in school. I knew what was on my IEP, so I knew if a teacher didn't follow it. It made me successful throughout school. When I was in 10th grade, I started doing the I Aspire program. I then started coming to my IEP meetings. I did not like to talk in front of people. This is not my cup of tea, LOL. My first Aspire presentation was a PowerPoint. I voiced over the PowerPoint so I would not have to speak in front of people. Boy, I come a long way since then. Through Aspire, I began to focus on my strengths, and I live on a farm and interned at a vet's office during high school. This helped me decide on what I wanted to do after high school, I decided to become a pet sitter. I keep pups and cats in my house. My parents bought my great grandmother's house, and I live there. It is beside their house, so I see them. And I go down there to eat. LOL. I did get my driver's license and have my own car. I also have a golf cart that I drive on the farm. When I started Aspire, it helped me to have a voice in school. Now that I have graduated, my self-determination and skills that I am learning will help me to make decisions that I like. I am living my best life through Aspire. I found my voice. If you are on Facebook, you can find me at Lawrence Love 'em and Leave 'em. Go give me a like. Thanks for having me to tell my story. If I can do it, you can do it.
In charge of their own lives. So I think that's a whole big conversation, because with the disability community, you know, there's a lot of preconceived notions, and sometimes people may not realize it, but like, what are they expecting out of young adults with disabilities? When I was in high school, I was withdrawn, not always talkative, was dealing with my own stuff, everyday life. So I was grateful for those adult allies, whether they were teachers, support staff, whomever. I was grateful the people who were always curious and warm and friendly and asked me how I was. And even if I didn't always respond to a level like, oh, thank you, I think young adults always appreciate it. So like, you don't even have to gauge the response on, don't expect, for young adults who may be struggling, you may not always get the response you want, but that doesn't mean it's not effective and that they don't appreciate it. So I think going back to that, engaging in school just, again, sets the stage of, okay, like, what you want matters. So I think, I think you can run into trouble when things are decided for young adults, because then that on some level lets the young adult know, okay, like, they may feel internalized, oh, I can't do this, or I need things done for me, or whatever, right? I'm not trying to get clinical, but I think you run into problems later on that, they're not going to believe in themselves. So I think it's having those tough conversations. It's saying, here's why we're doing this. We want you to succeed. We know you can do it. It's not going to always be easy or pretty or fun in the moment, because that's fundamental change, right? So I think change is never always easy or smooth, but I think it's worth setting up, that time and that effort, because it'll pay off. I mean, like I shared again, I really got into advocacy later on in my young adult years. So again, I was not always active. So I really admire young adult advocates, youth advocates who are like 13, 12, because I was just so anxious and was, again, dealing with my own stuff. So I really grew into advocacy a little bit later on. So I think, so you never know how someone will turn out, and it's investing in young adults for sure.